Welcome one and all to the Puppet History Season 3 finale! We've got a devastating flood of fun in store as we take an ever-winding look at yet another chapter in the heavy, heavy book we call history, while our guests ruthlessly compete for the coveted title of History Master! I am obviously your beloved host, the Professor. Thank you. Ryan Bergara, you're back. Are you ready?
Season finale, class is out, and I could finally see the sunlight and get out of this horrible basement that you have me in.
Yeah, baby. Oh, special guest Garrett Watts, are you ready?
Hi, Professor. Yes, I'm ready. I've got gummy worms, and I'm thrilled to hear a story. I love stories.
Oh my gosh, then let's crack in!
I should tell you, I really do love history. Pyramids and swords and castles and kings.
Oh yeah, those are all history things. You get a history point for that.
Thanks.
Here's another question for a history point. Who built the pyramids?
That's Apocalypse.
From X-Men?
From X-Men.
Yes.
You get a history point from me for that. How about that?
We're getting fun with them today. Ryan, you get a history point for giving Garrett a history point.
I don't want your point.
Too bad you got one. Right off the bat, I have to commend you for being the first guest to bring their own candy.
That seems like a huge missed opportunity for other guests. Are you serious? I'm the first?
Yes, you are. Did you have a gummy worm there?
Yes, I had a gummy worm. I always have something in my pocket. They're a little warm and a little bit old, but they taste just as good.
Well, look, I'm still thrilled you brought candy, so 3 jelly bean points for you right off the bat. Gummy worms are actually worth more than a jelly bean, so a little bit of an edge here going into it. And a wonderful segue into our beginning question here, which is, do either of you have a sweet tooth?
I like sweets. I like savory just as much, but you know, I really like the movie Willy Wonka, and I think that kind of set me off pretty early to really liking sweets.
I'm actually more of a savory guy myself. I like popcorn and I like salty things. Maybe it's because my dad's a dentist.
A scary dentist.
He is a scary dentist.
Well, as everyone knows, despite how tasty it is, too much sugar is bad for your health. There's no more direct example of that than our story today, when a tub of yummy, yummy molasses upended the city of Boston. Today, we're talking about the Great Molasses Flood of 1919.
People drown in molasses?
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
That sounds awful.
Ryan, that doesn't sound awful. It sounds like not a bad way to go.
I'm into it. Molasses isn't as common around the house today as it was a century ago. But before World War I, molasses was America's sweetener of choice, as white sugar was too expensive for many American households. Beyond direct consumption, molasses can be used in candy, animal feed, and of course, rum, baby!
Yes, but also just please do not forget cookies, because that's my favorite kind of cookies.
Oh, little molasses cookies, yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
By the early 1900s, molasses saw a chunky uptick in demand. Our first question. Why? A, it was used in weapons manufacturing. B, the birth of tiki bars in the 1910s sent domestic demand for rum skyrocketing. Or C, a 1914 tax on table sugar tripled the already high prices of white sugar.
All right, I put C, tax, but tiki bars do rule. I do love tiki bars. Everyone knows that. I almost feel like you put B in there because you know I like tiki bars, so you were trying to trick me. And that's nasty. Nasty bar.
Garrett, what'd you put?
Well, I forgot which A, B, C, D, E, F. I kind of got away with writing them all on one and just they're all there. But I wrote too expensive.
Oh, C was about a tax on table sugar.
Yes, it was C.
So we got a couple sea dogs out there.
Oh.
Sea dogs, baby!
Yeah, Garrett, it's actually a bit that hasn't landed since episode 1.
No, it lands every time.
If it lands, do you stop doing it or you just keep on doing it?
Oh, we just keep on doing it.
Okay, yeah.
Points to nobody! Molasses can be distilled into rum, absolutely. But it can also be fermented into industrial alcohol, or ethanol, a key ingredient in gunpowder. Nothing increases demand for gunpowder like a war, and for much of the decade, there was an absolute doozy of a war going down in Europe.
Wait a minute, did we have this information? Are we just meant to be intellectual on this show?
You're just supposed to guess your best.
Ryan, there's 2 of us and there's 1 of him, so I think that it wasn't said, and you better watch your back.
This has never happened before. Now, to convert sugar to weapons for murdering people, scissor would sail its way from the Caribbean on over to Beantown, where it would be offloaded and stored. The molasses was then loaded onto railroad cars and taken to plants, where that sweet-ass goop was distilled into industrial alcohol and sold to munitions manufacturers. During World War I, this business was booming. Looking to up their share of the industrial alcohol profit pie, in 1915, the Purity Distilling Company decided to increase their molasses capacity, or molassopacity, in Boston.
That was rich.
The company found a spot in the densely populated North End, conveniently located both on the harbor and near the elevated train tracks. Have either of you been to Boston?
Lots of brick.
Lots of brick.
Been down to the harbor.
Harbor?
Oh, nice. You guys are saying it wacky as if you're from the place.
Doing a
Yeah.
wacky thing.
Oh, baked beans.
Yeah, you got it. Purity Distilling Company began construction of a big-ass tank, like the biggest, assest tank you can think of. Maybe you're picturing a swimming pool or a big water tower. Think bigger! This big old dump truck ass tank had a 90-foot diameter and was 50 feet tall. 50 feet! Picture the height of a 5-story apartment building and fill it with goop. That's how tall this tank was. At full capacity, it could hold 2.5 million gallons of molasses. That's over 3.5 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Yowza!
Oh,
Holy shit.
this sounds dangerous.
Well, the Purity Distilling Company was so excited to use their big new tub that before they had even finished building it, they placed an order for 700,000 gallons of Cuban molasses. Unfortunately, delays plagued the tank's construction, and if it wasn't completed on time, the steamer full of syrup that was already sailing towards Boston might have to dump its load in the middle of the ocean.
Ryan, how have you not already done like a poop joke? He's just talked about this, 5-story thing the size of an ass dumping a load into the ocean, and I just feel like you missed an opportunity here. I wouldn't go for it personally, but apparently that's your thing.
But that's actually the low-hanging fruit that I'm all about. I decided to be a little bit more subtle.
Is it because I uttered the phrase dump its load?
Yeah, dump its load in the middle of the ocean.
We've all done that.
We've all dumped a load in the ocean. The tank was completed just in time when the new shipment arrived on New Year's Eve 1915. They had cut the schedule so close, however, that there was no chance to check the structure for leaks before filling it with molasses. And let me tell you, that tank leaked. Boston families in need of sweetener would regularly stop by the tank and gather up some of the free goop oozing down the sides.
No.
Yeah.
That's fucking gross.
That is not gross, Ryan. That is economical. That is incredible. I would go get a cup.
It's so gross.
I mean, it's free.
I'll get all over that tank.
Another question. How did the tank owners combat this? A, they drained the tank and repaired it. B, they built a second tank around the first tank. Or C, they slapped some paint on the thing and said, that'll do.
Yeah. I think I know this one.
I'm gonna put B, Russian doll.
Tank around a tank. Okay, Garrett, what are you going for?
Well, I think C, the paint thing. There's that sort of joke of like, oh, my leg hurts. And it's like, oh, here, take this cocaine, So I can understand them going, I think this here layer of paint will be hot enough to keep in all the molasses.
Well, let's find out via the magic of theater. Hey, Mom, home. Hello, Junior. How was school today? Well, it's 1919. School sucks. I wish I had a fun, critically acclaimed way to learn about history, but that's probably 100 years up. You know what I'm saying? Now wait just a minute, young man. I thought I told you to get a bucket of molasses from the big leaking tank on the way home. We're almost out. I wanted to, Ma, but I couldn't. They painted the free molasses tank brown, so now I can't tell which rivets are leaking that sweet, sweet juice.
Damn it.
Well, it looks like it'll be bitter gruel for breakfast from now on.
I love what's happening right now.
This fucking sucks. Point to Garrett! Yes, instead of trying to fix the root issue, owners decided to literally cover up their problem with brown paint, disguising the leaks while cutting off the free sugar goo supply, at least help the community feel a little less worried about the 5-story tub that was visibly failing at the end of the block.
That's what people do. They put paint over things, trying to think, oh, it'll just go away. It doesn't go away.
The truth will out.
What's the worst that's gonna happen? What's it gonna dump all over a city?
Well, now paint may have made the tank look safer, but continuing to suggest the tank was structurally unsound were the sounds. When filled, the tub would audibly groan as its walls struggled to hold back its goopy prisoner. All in all, while there may have been sweetness in her heart, the tank would have made for an ominous landmark.
Ooh!
Imagine going for like a walk in your neighborhood and you just hear...
that's right.
Oh, that must be the old molasses tank.
Yeah, that's just Big Bertha singing her song.
People in Boston spoke with very thick Southern accents,
Yeah,
apparently, in my imagination.
Wait, can you guys do a quick improvised scene of two lovers meeting in front of the tank? And I want you to do your best Boston/non-Boston accents.
Oh, I never ever thought you'd meet me in front of this here tank of molasses, Ryan.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Ryan, get back in it!
I never thought I would see you out here either.
Oh, Ryan, you've been drinking too much of that molasses.
Yeah, I love me the molasses. It's wicked good. And you looking sweeter than pie tonight too.
Oh.
It's such a bad Boston accent.
Get back in it, Ryan!
I'm sorry.
Ryan, I've always wanted to ask you this, but where are you from? You talk kind of funny.
Funny that you say that because the last person that said that ended up in the hospital, so
Ryan, are you threatening me in front of this old big tank of molasses?
Late on the morning of January 12th, 1919, a ship loaded with 1.3 million gallons of molasses, the Liaw, pulled into a slip near the tank. At the time, Boston had a lot on its mind. Prohibition was only one state away from ratification, the Red Sox had defeated the Chicago Cubs in the World Series 4 months prior, and the Great War had ended in November. But a new foe had emerged closer to home. Ha! What foe was this? And this is an open-ended question. Try your best here. Something that was on their mind. Ryan, are you writing anything, or are you just...
I have no idea.
Are you reading Wikipedia?
No.
Ryan, if you're reading Wikipedia, I'll scream.
You will scream.
Yeah.
I just put molasses. I don't know, bro.
Not a going concern for them yet, but a valiant effort there. Garrett, what did you put?
I just put down the two things that I know about history at this time. The Boston Tea Party, which potentially, I think that's probably the answer. And then as a backup, I just wrote Flapper Girls.
Neither of you were anywhere close to right.
It's not Flapper Girls?
No. Well, I'm sure some people were thinking about Flapper Girls, you know?
Speaking of which, the Roaring Twenties, I feel like a lot of people are saying that that's going to happen again because the Roaring Twenties happened
Why,
after,
Ryan?
Well, because of the coronavirus.
Yeah?
The inciting incident of then.
Huh? Would you like to maybe take another stab at writing your free write?
Oh, I know what you're getting at. Oh, wait, okay.
He's close.
Prohibition?
No! I said that! Would you say that there's anything at the top of everybody's mind this year? Hey, Garrett gets a jelly bean!
The freaking flu, brother.
Oh!
Yes, the Spanish flu pandemic was in full ravaging mode. And keep that in mind, everything that's about to happen was in the middle of a pandemic. If you can possibly imagine what that must have felt like.
Yeah. That was great. I mean, it was sad, but it was great.
Yeah.
Despite the end of the war and the looming threat of prohibition, the world still needed industrial alcohol. So the Liaw began pumping 600,000 gallons of its sticky load into the towering, groaning tank. The residents nearby had by now grown accustomed to the moans of the tank flexing against the molasses. Even if they did have concerns in the past, a Boilermaker had spent 10 days in December fixing the leaks around the tank. So it must be good as new, right? Plus, what was the worst that could happen? You know what this could use? More molasses!
More molasses, yeah.
It took until the next morning to finish filling the tank. Inside, the fresh, warm sugar goo mixed with the more viscous molasses that had been chilling in the Boston winter. And when the two combined, a fermentation process began to produce gas in the already full tank. By the time the Liaw shoved off from her slip, the tank was nearly full, housing 14,000 tons of syrup.
That's a lot of syrup.
Oh my gosh.
It's about how much maple syrup I put on my waffles, you know.
Nice one, Professor.
Thank you, Garrett. By Wednesday, January 15th, the residents of Boston were enjoying a welcome respite from the brutal winter cold. Temperatures had reached a balmy 40 degrees, and workers in the North End must have been grateful as they enjoyed their lunches around 12:30 p.m. Oh, sounds like a nice day, huh?
Yeah, I don't think anything could go wrong with this day.
Oh, I certainly hope nothing goes wrong, but I don't really see why anything would go wrong. Now when you're looking fine like that.
Oh, now I'm really attached to these two characters.
Oh, Ryan.
What's that noise, though?
Oh, that's just my old stomach growling because they haven't come with the grits.
No, baby,
Yeah.
wait, listen here. Listen. I hear it's real far. Well, it's not, now
Oh,
it's
don't
not
give
even
me a
that far.
hard time about it. I'm self-conscious as it is.
I think we should run.
Oh, I'll pick up the story there. Okay. You guys are setting me up perfectly here. Okay. Suddenly, a deep rumbling burst forth from the tank. Accompanying the roar was the rattling of what sounded like machine gun fire. Rivets along the side of the tank started popping and shooting across the north end like missiles. And in one terrifying moment, the tank had collapsed. As one railway employee described, where the tank stood, there was no tank. Instead was a mighty wall of some kind, a giant wave of molasses.
But do you think I could boogie board that shit?
Ryan, of course you could if you believed in yourself.
That's what I thought.
Did anyone die in this? Can we make jokes about this? People died, right? Does it suck? Wait, what happened?
Well, we'll get to that later, but for now, yes, feel free to make jokes. It's okay. And the wave was giant indeed. 15 feet high, 160 feet wide, and tearing down the street at a relatively brisk 35 miles per hour. The 2.3 million gallons of molasses pulverized almost everything it encountered. The Engine 31 firehouse almost fell into the harbor. Buildings of the Public Works Department were swept to the middle of a park 100 feet away and collapsed. A piece of the tank cut through a column of the elevated train, raining track down onto the molasses-coated street. A train had passed over this section moments before, avoiding disaster by mere seconds.
There was a moment where the train was sort of like outrunning the molasses wave. In my imagination, that's what happened.
Maybe. I bet someone at the very back end of the train was like looking out backwards and was like, holy moly!
Oh no! A whole 15-foot wave of molasses.
Holy fuck!
Oh no.
Molasses even poured into basements, choking anyone who had the misfortune of being below ground when the vat burst. The Boston Post reported, quote, here and there struggled a form. Whether it was animal or human being was impossible to tell. Horses died like so many flies on sticky fly paper. The more they struggled, the deeper in the mess they were ensnared. Here's the thing about horses, guys. Horses, strong. Big muscles. So to see a big, strong horse trying to get out of the muck, ooh, sent shivers up my little blue spine.
Your spine is blue as well, Professor?
Oh, I'm all blue, baby.
Okay, weird.
The same newspaper described the horror of being caught in the flow. Quote, snared in its flood was to be stifled. Once it smeared a head, human or animal, there was no coughing off this sticky mass. To attempt to wipe it with hands was to make it worse. Most of those who died from suffocation. It plugged nostrils, almost airtight. Garrett, are you still into this?
Oh, no. Well, it's complicated.
Well, obviously, rescuers rushed to the scene immediately, but their efforts were greatly hindered. Why? A, the stables for the city's ambulance-driving horses had been located next to the tank and were now in ruins. B, the mayor of Boston refused to send immediate aid, instead releasing a statement saying, quote, we love the molasses, it's very special. C, there was friggin' molasses everywhere.
I'm gonna go A and C.
I did C, F.M.E, which as you know is freaking molasses everywhere.
F.M.E, we all use it all the time. Well, let's find out what happened.
Help! Help! Ryan, the little woman's back.
Oh shit.
No, this is a man, he's got a bunch of sticky molasses all over him, so just to give you
I'm sorry.
It kind of looked like a cape.
Oh, please, somebody help!
What is that wonderful smell? Oh, holy shit, are you okay?
I am everything but okay. I'm stuck in molasses and I feel my leg shattered.
Hold on, poor fellow. I'll be right there. Please hurry. I am hurrying. Are you sure
Oh no.
You're moving kind of slow?
Yeah, well, there's molasses everywhere.
I'm aware of the molasses. I'm asking you to move faster.
Yeah, listen, Bob, I'm up to my waist in syrup and I bet my shoes are ruined under there. I'm moving as fast as I can. You want help or not?
Yes, I do. Please. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll be there in a couple minutes. And see.
Nice.
There was molasses everywhere.
Freaking molasses everywhere.
Fair.
Okay, we're gonna give a point to Garrett on that one, and we'll give Ryan a half a point because he sat on the fence and picked two answers for some reason, which devalues his little jelly beans, unfortunately. Now, once the wave had settled, several blocks had 2 to 3 feet of molasses on them. Rescue workers could barely move through the muck. Nevertheless, heroes charged towards the injured. The Boston Globe applauded the young women of the local Red Cross chapter. Quote, they came in a hurry with wonderfully equipped ambulances, and they worked fearlessly with remarkable efficiency. they plunged into the flood of molasses knee-deep and worked without regard for their personal comfort. A Navy sailor on leave, Harry Howe, tried to help and later recalled, quote, "We saw this big cloud of brown dust and dirt and a slight noise. And there was an arm sticking out from underneath the wheel of a truck, so two of us got a hold of his arm and pulled, and unfortunately we pulled his arm off."
Oh no!
I like how that accent got heavier and heavier as the quote went on.
Yeah.
It's not that gross though, because maybe the guy was safe. Maybe his arm got pulled off, but he was like, don't worry, I'm under like an airtight bubble or something.
The groans of the molasses tank were now replaced by the screams of its victims!
Jesus Christ.
The Boston Globe reported, quote, "Some of the people who had been caught in the debris were frightfully hurt, the injuries causing them to shriek at every move, and these shouts were not quieted when they were placed in the ambulances to be hurried to the hospitals. At those hospitals, quote, nurses' spotless white uniforms were besmeared with blood and molasses. Hospital workers struggled to identify the age and even gender of some of the, quote, molasses-dripping humanity being rushed through their doors."
When you asked me to be on this show, I thought
Yeah.
you'd be like, I thought it was gonna be about like the pyramids or like
The history of French fries or something like that?
yeah, or like a gemstone that was found that was maybe cursed or something.
Oh! Well, you know.
Oh, what do you want from that? That sucks, man.
Come on, guys, tell me your jokes about it. Huh? No? No takers?
I got nothing.
Okay, let's swiftly move on to a really fun question then, and one I'm
Ooh.
sure you guys are eager to know the answer to. How many people died as a direct result of the Great Molasses Flood?
God. Yeah, I guess maybe this many. I don't know.
Okay, Ryan, what do you got?
I put 10,000, unfortunately. I feel like if it's less than that,
You'll be a happy camper. Yeah.
yeah.
Garrett?
I'm going to first just get in front of my answer real quick and say that it can be objectively correct. My answer is nobody. Fake news and 0 horses, because they, along with mice, are good swimmers.
Okay.
Realistically, this was probably a little incident. You know, it got some dining chairs and
Yeah,
some clothing.
yeah.
Hey, show me the iPhone footage of it happening, or it didn't happen.
You're just creating this whole alternate reality in your brain just to make history go down a little bit smoother. Is that what you're telling us?
I've been doing it for 3 decades, brother.
I respect the grind.
Thanks.
Well, we're going to give that point to Garrett because he was arguably closest. 20 people died in the flood.
That's not so bad.
Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, I mean, there's still 20 lives, but, you know, not bad.
Could have been 21.
Could have been 20,000.
20 people died in the flood. Recovering the bodies took days. The final corpse, that of 32-year-old wagon driver Cesare Nicolo, was found under the wharf a full 4 months after the tragedy. Along with those 20 victims, 34-year-old Stephen Clougherty died at the end of that year in a psychiatric hospital. His family contended he died as a result of the trauma of the incident, which took his mother, 65-year-old Bridget Clougherty. Apart from these deaths, more than 150 people were injured. While the wounded recovered, the rest of the city set about trying to clean up the big old sticky mess. Now this is a part we didn't really think about. The cleanup on this thing's gotta be a fucking haul.
That sounds like a sticky situation.
How did it take us this long to get to that delivery? Though the spill resulted in several blocks of the North End being absolutely covered in molasses, all of Boston eventually felt the fallout. Anyone who set foot in the disaster zone, be they cleaning crews, emergency personnel, or gawkers hoping to see the mess for themselves, inevitably got molasses on their shoes and clothing, which they then tracked all over the city. Payphones, public transit, you name it, the town was covered in syrup.
That sounds like a college party that has jungle juice and then people just tracking it all around the house.
And this is a legit question, no jokes here.
No
Do you
jokes.
really think that they had an ant problem like after that for like years and years and years?
One would think. Hey, how did Boston set about cleaning their sticky city? A, they washed the molasses into the harbor and covered the streets with sand. B, they told that sort of genie who'd been hanging about that if he cleaned up the mess, they'd hand over the bespectacled puppet they found trapped in the molasses. And oh, that damnable genie says, "You've got a deal," and snaps his spindly fingers, and poof, the molasses is gone. And the wicked cretins of Boston deliver unto the monster his sticky prize. Finally, hisses the dreadful beast, "Do you know the trouble you've caused me? The world isn't ready for the singing abominations your reckless little dance through time has created. Now, time to handle the most abominable singing puppet of them all. As the genie's trembling hands move toward our beloved hero, the rakish blue rogue smirks and whispers, "Let's crack in." As if taught by Houdini himself, the puppet unbinds himself in an instant and majestically dives for his satchel, reaches inside, and he suddenly disappears in a brilliant flash of light as that wretched goddamn loser genie lets out a time-shaking wail! Or C, rats!
Alrighty.
All right, Ryan, what do you got?
I put A, power cleaner, baby.
My idea was the sand one, but then I wrote, but a pretty funny idea was to let loose a bunch of babies on the molasses that would all just, because you know babies, they like little syrup and sweet stuff, so crawling
Send
around.
them out there with a handful of pancakes.
Little sugar babies.
Oh, the babies will take care of this. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Well, points to both of you. While I'm sure the rats of Boston did indeed eat like kings for a while, the actual solution was to try to wash the molasses out to sea and cover the still sticky streets with sand. As a result, the water in Boston Harbor turned brown for upwards of 2.5 months. All in all, it took 87,000 worker hours to clean the city. For years, on warm days, North End residents went about their lives with the smell of molasses wafting in the air, a sweet reminder of the wave of goo that caused so much death and destruction.
I gotta say, has there been any body of water in history that's had more flavor added to it than the Boston Harbor? Because it had all that tea, and now all this molasses after.
Dude, you are so right.
Yeah, ooh.
It's a lot.
This is the one thing that's hitting me profoundly. Whoa!
Whoa, tasty water, bro. Garrett, after all this, are you still content with a molasses death?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Didn't expect that.
Who's to say that their last thought wasn't yummy?
Ah, true.
Oh, Ryan, that is so true.
Yeah, you guys put quite a nice positive spin on this, and I thank you for that. Basically a good thing that it happened? Is that where we've landed?
No, I don't know about that, but
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, that concludes our history lesson. I'm gonna go tally the scores using our complex victory algorithm and see who receives the Covenant Cup and the title of History Master. While I do that, please enjoy this special performance from a Bostonian horse just living his best life.
oh boy.
Oh my God! Whoa! Who's that?
Hey Ryan, hey King.
Club, club, club.
Yeah.
Club, club, club. Well, I'm a pretty happy horsey with a pretty perfect life. I'm thankful for my cloppy hooves and lovely horsey wife. My friends, my frilly horsey mates through every street in town. And past that big molasses tank that's structurally unsound. My brother has a kidney stone, I sure hope that it passes. Unrelated, but one thing I don't like is molasses. I just like singing horsey songs and jamming out to ska. I think that if I keep it up one day, I'll be a star. Well, every new day is the best day of my life, for so it seems. Best day of my life. And for the record, today is January 15th, 1919. I'm gonna live forever.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, molasses, it's burn! Oh, God! Oh, God, please help me! Oh, wait, what, huh?
Yo, what up?
Who are you? I'm God, you banana head. God? Look what happened! I know, I did that. It's a molasses flood. You crazy for this one, God? But why? I don't know, I'm a little freak. I can do anything I want. Well, can you get me out of this molasses?
Oh, no. No.
Well, I think I'm gonna die.
Oh, no, you're already dead.
What?
Yeah, I know it's a lot to take in. Hey, just head on over into the light and we'll get you over to horse heaven, or I guess horse hell if you were like a horse bigot or whatever.
There's so much I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat more hay. Oh, I love the way it crunched between my teeth.
Oh, yeah, I made hay and teeth.
If I could just smooch my horse wife, Dorothy Ruth, one more time.
Yeah, you sure? A handsome cow. Thick hooves.
And I just wanted to go clippy cloppy.
Just one more day of clippy-clopping.
Okay, well, it seems like you need a little more convincing here, so why don't you just follow along and we'll see if we can't get you comfortable with your gelatinous demise, huh?
I hate to tell ya, my fine equine, but it's looking like your number's up. I know you love to stay around just a little bit longer, but your lungs are full of sticky mud. So take a gallop with me toward eternity. Forget about your earthly flight, and put one hoof in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other, and clip-clop into the light.
But I'm gonna miss my family and my friends so much. Were they horses that also live near you in Boston?
Yeah?
Oh, then they're toast. Really? Yeah, I've got like 41 more goo horses on my to-do list today. Oh.
Well, in that case, I hope my wife died too, so I can see her soon.
You will.
And spook her spooky horse ghost lips.
Okay.
And stare into her gorgeous fucked up oblong horsey pupils as we drift into the vestibule.
All right.
I guess you're ready to go into the great unknown. It's been a lovely horsey life. I put one hoof in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other, and flip-flop into the light.
This is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Whoa! Okay, well that was messed up, man. I think that's the first official death we've had on this stage, so
Yeah.
that's something, I guess.
I want to tell you that I drew a little bit of fan art during the performance. The horse who passed away and his wife, and I don't know if you can see, I didn't know how to draw a girl horse, so I just gave her one boob.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think most horses have one boob. That's beautiful, Garrett. A fitting tribute. I think we only owe it to the horse to have a moment of silence here. Garrett, if you could hold up your beautiful tribute while we bow our heads. Okay, and let's just, very respectful, here we go.
I hope my wife died too. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. Okay, well, boy, you will be missed. Rip to that guy. Anyway, according to our complex victory algorithm, this week's history master is Garrett Watts! Oh my gosh, Garrett, go collect the coveted cup which you have so rightly earned!
Oh my God! Wow! I don't know what to say.
Well, you don't need to say anything because you won.
Can I give a little speech?
Oh, absolutely, Garrett.
I just want to say that I will accept this in honor of the no humans or horses or anything that died during that tragedy, because I do believe my theory is correct.
Okay. Not a theory so much as just, you know, balking at facts, but yeah, sure.
Damn, I'm gonna put them in the cup and then I'm gonna shoot them like I'm at a freaking frat party, brother.
Oh no.
No, you're gonna go through some changes tonight, just a heads up.
I'm ready.
You're gonna be a strange puppet man soon. It'll wear off eventually. Anyway, Garrett, thank you for being here. Ryan, thanks for trying. And to everyone else, thank you for watching Puppet History, where the details are always a little fuzzy. I'm gonna go clean up this dead horse. See you next season, everybody! Woo!
Horse.